it is. Okay, great route runner. He might as well be a wideout. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
But I'll tell you right now, I have a bigger problem with the second interception, and it's not Alshon. Okay, the first one, you're throwing the ball 35 yards downfield. He underthrew him. Shit happens. You can't miss it, but shit happens. Second interception, you're throwing basically an 8-yard stop, and you can't put that ball on his fucking numbers. Carson drills that shit in there. I'm sorry. It's not going to make me very popular with the Folesians, but Carson drills that thing in there. There is no way that Alshon should have had to reach for that at all. Not that it was way outside of his body, because it really wasn't. I mean, he had both hands on it. He's got to make that catch. But to me, the second interception is as much on Nick as it is Alshon, because you just – I mean, they're playing tight coverage. You're going into the red zone. You're going from the 27 to the 19. You have to drill that in there. Or if you're not going to drill it in there, you got to throw it low and let him go down and get it. You can't miss high.
No, Carson does a good job of throwing that ball lower too, you know, to your point, than leaving that ball high.
But to me, the turning point or the after the first quarter fireworks, and we're already on the turning point, but I mean, the first quarter fireworks were great. And like you said, I mean, that place, you could hear a pin drop in there. To me, the turning point is the coaching staff not being ready for that fake punt. And Greg and I were talking a little bit about it before we went on the air, is that you declined the penalty that would have had it 3rd and 11. It's now 4th and 1.
So you're blaming the coaching staff?
A little bit there.
No, like on the game. Like that's the most blame for you? Like is that where you're going?
I think overall it's the offense, but there's spots where you could point to the coaching staff and say, had they been ready for this, or this, then the offensive woes aren't quite as bad.
Well, real quick question.
Go ahead.
Because on that fake punt, they weren't in their fake punt formation. They were in their regular punt formation. You go back and watch it. It's regular punt formation. It's not. They're not set up in anything different that they run. All they did was they had 3 guys go down and block Fletcher Cox. So they down blocked 3 guys down on Fletcher Cox, which is the reason his foot. Because he tried to stand 3 guys up, and that's where the foot injury came from.
What I'd said to Greg, though, was before –
I know we all knew – we felt it coming.
Well, 100%. I told Greg, I said, I was screaming at the TV in the bar.
Same.
Watch the fake, leave your defense on the field. Mm-hmm. They leave their defense on the field, and you still can't get a stop there. And to me, that's where the momentum changed. And to me, that's on the coaching staff that you have to, they're down 14 at home, and you put them in a 4th and 1. You know that Peyton is going to try something to get his team back in the game, and you don't have your guys ready.
Real quick,
100% agree with you.
This is what I'm going to hit you guys with. Okay. I love playing devil's advocate with it because there's 2 plays before that are player miscues, right? So we don't get there without the Nick interception. We don't get there without Brandon Graham when you want to talk about a city fumble and a country fumble.
Explain the difference on that. I want to know.
That's Chip Kelly saying.
That was almost a handoff in his gut.
Yeah, so it's a Chip Kelly saying where city fumbles, there's tons of guys around. Yeah. City fumbles, you just get on top of. Then there's the country fumble. And the country fumble is nobody's around you, scoop and go try to score. Yeah. What he tried to do is turn the city fumble into a country fumble. Now, Brandon understands it. I'm sure there's nobody that's more bothered by it than him. But that's a turning point because now you're talking inside their own 18, 20 at that point.
21-yard line.
And you're still at 14-0. Mm-hmm. But before that was the Nick pick. So that's what really set the tone for me was the Nick pick. So my point is there's 2 plays before, let's say, a coaching mistake in terms of not being ready for the fake punt. So that's my only thing that we don't get there. This is my whole players make plays. So you don't get there without 2 miscues. Now, Brandon Graham had to get the strip sack to get the miscue. You know what I mean? Or we're not even talking about it. But it's still, credit for the strip sack. We haven't had one since the Super Bowl. So
imagine
that's great. But that to me, they're just more important to me than the 4th and 1. Because rationally, you could sit home. If you're a coach, you could be like, inside their own 30, up, down 14-0. Like, yeah, Sean Payton's MO is to go for it. But, I want to put that on – I got to put that on my special teams guy. So if I am,
well, and that's coaching.
So more so than Doug. I'm gonna.
I don't think he was calling Doug's head.
I'm not saying he is.
No, I just think he said in general.
No, not him, but people. Yeah. The masses, everything goes to Doug, which I get it. He's that coach. Yeah. But you have coordinators for a reason, and the special teams guy. listen, when they're not in that formation that you see on tape, they're usual when they usually fake it.
You didn't think Taysom was a little bit closer to under center there? If you look at that again, like it was 100% for me.
I think he creeped.
I wanted them to push him back. I understand that we're inside their own 30, but and everybody's argument is no, you didn't want to push him back because they couldn't stop him. Well, they were stopping him in the first quarter. They didn't get anything on third down.
That was going to be my next question.
So you know what I mean? Now you give them more life.
Yeah, when
they're
you're stopping them as well as you were stopping them at that point in the game, do you take the penalty?
All right, well, right back at you then, right?
Sure.
Because after that, right, we didn't stop a 3rd and long all goddamn game.
Nope.
So, we can play devil's advocate and say you push them back there, but who's to say we're getting stops? Yeah. Because essentially, 3rd and long.
But to that point, you were.
Maybe not. Because I think everybody.
Well, you didn't stop it on 4th and 1 either. So what's the risk?
But the risk, you always.
I mean, it's 2020 hindsight.
When a 4th comes up inside your own 30, inside that team's own 30, you always decline that. You have to. To me, you have to. Now, listen,
in the regular season,
you got out coached. You got out schemed on that one play. You know what I mean? That's a huge turning point. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. Like all 3 are the biggest turning points of the game, right? If you look at what's the biggest turning points, pick. City fumble, country fumble,
there's about 10 plays in this game that you can say.
And the 4th and 1.
Because here's the thing. They got out-schemed on that one play, absolutely. And if you go back and you look at the final numbers from that game, and I know this is probably like Chuck's layers deep on this one, but if you go back and you look at the final numbers, they had one guy have double-digit targets, and it was 16 targets for Michael Thomas. He's got 12 catches. 10 of his 12 catches were against freaking jabronis in our secondary.
Well, you know that. Yep.
So they not only did they out-scheme us on the fake punt, but they found ways to get Michael Thomas matched up against our weakest link in the secondary every single time. And I just want to say something right now to the people, and I'm not putting it on him because he had a nice big play at the beginning of the game, and he played well for several weeks. But for all you people out there that are crowning fucking Cravon LeBlanc and saying this guy should be a goddamn starter on this team next year, he was on the street until November. He's absolutely earned a contract. He's earned a right to come to training camp. He's going to compete. He may wind up making the team next year. But for people out there, based off of what they've seen this year, hello, Paul Turner, hello, Rasheed Bailey, any of these street free agents that have had their 5 weeks of fame that are still in the league, Bryce Treggs.
Yeah, but this guy did play well on some national stages.
He played well, but how are you going to crown him as a starting?
But he's not Bryce Treggs and guys who
fucking next year.
He's not guys who were practice squad hero. He's not a practice squad hero.
No, he was off the street.
But
he wasn't even on a practice squad.
That's even more respect because you're coming in a tough.
I don't know. I'm not saying there's no respect.
No. Like I'm saying, like we agree that yeah, he deserves a contract. He deserves to come in next year. But like, I don't think he's starting over anybody. Like, I think we can all agree on that.
You got people in these Eagles groups that we're all parts of that are crowning this guy.
I get that. I think I like him that he's physical, come up and tackle you and all that kind of stuff. But he's not starting because we'll get into this later, but I'm a guy who's willing to give Darby a 1-year deal. Look, that's the position I'm in.
I had no problem with that.
Because you can't have enough corners in this league. You can't have enough.
The fact that we're talking about Cravon LeBlanc right now. LeBlanc, who should be playing hockey with that type of name. You're absolutely right. You absolutely bring Darby, or you bring somebody else in.
But let me tell you something.
Not Darby.
He's played well though at times.
Yeah.
I mean, for what he is, he competed,
yeah,
and he said that when we talked about this before. Hey, for these guys, you want to make a roster next year? Because this is your opportunity.
Go out and play.
Yep.
And go out and play. And they did. And that's why they deserve to come back next year. And guess what? We're going to have a pretty deep secondary
next
year.
Right, but here's the thing. And I have no problem with that.
A lot.
Yeah.
They want to bring.
I know what you're saying.
They want to bring him and Sullivan and Hawkins.
Crown, dude. They're the same Foles society. You understand?
They
crown.
They love the underdogs.
Right. But they want to bring these guys to training camp and have them compete. I am all for it because the competition is going to make everybody better.
This city's such crumbs.
But there's people out there that want to keep this guy over Jalen Mills and Sidney Jones.
Bro, people. Now Jalen's a late pick. People fucking love it.
Your son.
I love Jalen. People, and we're hopefully going to get Jalen on here. But people fucking love the crown, the uncrownable. Makes sense? Like we'll hate guys who were drafted top 10 who play quarterback in the city forever,
Carson.
right? Carson, Donovan, right? Because we're fucking idiots, right? And everybody else gets free passes. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like people give Zach Ertz free passes. You can't block me or you, okay? Like, I mean, okay, Dallas Goedert will lay you out and probably got better hands. So, I don't know. I'm about to go on a limb and say, if this guy figures some more route running out, he might be better.
He might be.
So, you know, but we never can talk about certain people. We never can be critical about certain people, but we can be critical about 11 to the day we die. Like, grow up. Like Cre'Von LeBlanc. Like, we're crowning this guy.
Yeah.
He's now. Let's see.
He's a starter.
He's now Chris Harris and some of the best corners in football. Like, come on.
He's Richard Sherman.
Yeah, like, just slow down.
Better lock him up now before we lose him.
That's where you're right about the Paul Turner.
Five-year deal.
Yeah. That's where you're right about the Paul Turner and that. I'll just mess with you because
like,
at least this guy made some impactful plays in the postseason football. But, you know, still, like, we're relaxed. Like, Jalen Mills is better than him. You know, people were talking about cutting Rodney McLeod, like, because they don't want to pay the $5 million. $5 million.
Yeah.
Like, you absolutely pay that for Rodney McLeod. You stupid. And then, like, I like Rasul. Showed me a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He grew a lot this year.
And we'll see what Sydney is, and we'll do all this looking for. But my biggest
University of Washington crumbs.
Yeah, but my biggest.
Got the head like Markel.
My biggest blame's right with you guys. It's the offense.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to go a step further, and I'm going to put it on the quarterback. You know, we want to sit here and we want to be critical of 11 all day. That's fine. So we can play that same game both ways then. So what I'm going to do is tell you that he was inaccurate. Okay, whatever magic that was there was gone. He reverted back to the guy that back foot stuff, doesn't follow through on throws, you know, all that stuff. He reverted back to all the things that we told you were his nemesis. You know, were his arch nemesis. You know, back foot king. He was the back foot king when he struggled.
He was uncomfortable.
Yeah, and you see that.
You can see that.
That's why you can only go so far sometimes.
Can I go out on a limb for
with a guy like that? How much more would a healthy Carson that can make plays on the run in that game affected this football team in its offense?
I'm going to go out on a limb real quick, and I'm going to tell you guys something, and hear me out on this. I think the moment got too big for him, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, he won the Super Bowl last year, and he's a Super Bowl MVP. But that Super Bowl got tight in the second half. And he didn't have any choice but to go out there and just fire it. And same thing if you look back this year with the Rams game and the Texans game. When he's in a close game and he just has to go out there and fire it, he's good. He's Nick Foles. But sometimes the moment gets a little too big for him, and then he becomes Nick Foles. I think it got too big for him.
Not comfortable in the pocket.
He's up 14-0, and he's thinking like, okay, we didn't get a kill shot here. We're up 14-0. We didn't get a kill shot. Now I can't move the ball. Like, what the hell am I doing here? And I legitimately think it got too big for him.
I think it could have. He just didn't look good.
No.
Right? And you're like, okay, now.
And he hasn't looked good for a majority of the last few games.
Well, this is
he'll have flashes where obviously he looks like the great Nick Foles that everyone thinks he is, right? He'll have flashes, the game-winning drive against Chicago, a couple other flashes in that game. But for the most part,
the entire second half of the Houston game.
Yeah, for the most part, he's average at best.
He's been average at best.
Yeah. Well, I want to make a point. Like, you got radio hosts out there and program fucking directors because this is the guys who get the jobs for some reason. But Joe DeCamara, and I don't care, and I'll say it again, Joe DeCamara is a goddamn moron. Okay? Because for the fact that you're going to say that you want to franchise Nick Foles for $26 million when you have the least amount of cap in football going into next year, which we know can change with moves, but as of right now, not a good start. So now we want to franchise $26 million to essentially the backup so Carson can have an earn-it year, all right, and leave him with a terrible roster, essentially, where you can't get better, you can't bring back some key pieces. So that's how you want to play.
So wait a minute.
This is society.
So the guy who was on the verge of being a unanimous MVP last year before he got hurt
has to earn it.
And still could have been the MVP.
Who was rushed back this year because Foles was
not good enough.
Okay through 2 weeks. Suddenly has to earn it?
Number 2 overall pick.
Are you serious right now?
Exactly what I heard.
Oh, my God.
And
it's not just him, but it's a lot of people.
Not only earn it, but look over his shoulder every week after every throw. Maybe throws an interception because, God forbid, it's going to happen.
Because the Folesian community just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And if you have both those guys here next year, if you have both those guys here next year,
it's this big.
We can start 3-0 But Carson has 5 touchdowns and 4 picks, but we're rolling. The Folesian community, you can hear them. They're getting louder.
Yep.
They're getting louder. And I told you guys before the show started, I'm exhausted already defending Carson for next year. And we're not even there yet.
It's because you shouldn't have to.
I mean, a hip flexor, things are going to go off the rail.
Oh, my goodness.
Right? I mean, the littlest thing. But I just think, I think it's comical. I think it's comical that we give credit to one guy for winning a Super Bowl last year. Like, that's what all the credit goes to, right? And at times we'll give it to other guys. You know how good this football team was last year? Like I'm saying top to bottom. Like, you look at that secondary was damn good. You're talking about 2 Pro Bowl caliber guys in your back end, and you're talking about Jalen and Ronald. Right, good. Your front 7 that we used to call it last year 8 because we didn't even count the linebackers. Just your linemen was the best in football. So good. Okay? So your linebackers were Nigel was a monster. Okay? So you were great on defense. Like, it was easy. I'm not saying easy, but you just picked off where the other guy left off. And you didn't do it like he did it. Like, you picked up and you got through stuff. Yeah. We got through stuff, which is great, okay? But we didn't light nobody up. Don't even talk to me about Minnesota, okay? Because before the second quarter, we weren't scoring points before a big-time pick. So slow down. Right. Slow down.
Pick 6.
Okay? Now, in the Super Bowl, absolutely was a pimp like we seen before out of him. But but let
me ask you this.
Besides that, it was just good enough.
He barely beat the Falcons.
When you're talking about a guy who can be
Why did we barely beat the Falcons?
Because I don't know. Keanu
Nick Foles wasn't good enough. Well, yeah, that's true.
Because Keanu Neal dropped an interception.
But at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, like
into Torrey Smith's hands, who miraculously caught a ball.
You have a generational talent as your quarterback, a guy you traded up to get.
I'm with you.
Okay,
I think we all are here.
It's basic. That's your guy, and that's who you're running with. And if anybody out there doesn't see the talent difference, you have to be able to make plays outside the pocket in this league with your feet. Exactly. And if you can't, and your name's not Tom Brady, I don't trust you.
When you get a little uncomfortable in the pocket, like Nick Foles did in the second half there, when he couldn't move, when he couldn't step into throws, he got a little uncomfortable when he couldn't make the throws, and that's when we needed a healthy guy like Carson that can get outside the pocket and extend plays.
Yeah, real quick. Break up the Flyers. 2 in a row.
Oh my goodness.
We're back, baby. The city of winners.
Coots with a natty hattie.
Oh.
What's that part?
Natty Daddy?
Oh, and Pope says 3 out of 4.
Natty?
A natty hattie for Coots.
Justin Pope says limp dick Foles. That's classic.
All of a sudden, huh?
Aaron Lester.
I don't know, man. He's still BDN to me.
All right, Aaron. He said what the moment got too big for him. He beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl game. Wow.
Did you not hear the explanation?
I guess not.
No, they only hear certain things.
Dion Brown. What up, my brother?
What are we drinking tonight, Dion?
I'm giving Darby a Jahi, both 1-year deals. I'm right around there.
Maybe not with that.
Maybe not on a Jahi because the other knee too. Yeah. So now I got 2 knees.
You got 2 knees. That's
most
huge.
people do.
You know, but there's backs out there that we can talk about that could help a little bit, and if you draft well, can really help. But I'm not against the 1-year deal for a Jahi.
Nah,
on a prove it on a cheap deal.
Don't forget we have Clement coming back too. Sproles may come back. I mean,
you know what my favorite song these days is though. And Greg could chime in on this.
What does Donovan have to do with
Benny?
Oh, my goodness.
Benny and the Jets.
Hey, what I saw in person, I'm in.
Go get me some Snell.
What I saw in person at the Citrus Bowl, I am in. They had 0 passing offense, and Benny Snell destroyed a one-dimensional defensive front from Penn State.
Yo, Spidey, he said the question on the fake punt is Hill normally in the punt protection position?
Yes, he's always there.
Yeah. That's why it didn't look any different. Jake Friel, what's up, my brother?
What up, Jake?
He said, what's up, fellas? My issue was the play before the 2-minute warning. Why not wait to the 2-minute and get the play ready? Listen, it was there, though. It was there. So if we complete it, it doesn't matter. Now you go to the 2-minute warning, in my opinion, and you have the ability to really come up with your best play for third down.
Well, the reason,
you know what I mean?
the reason that they did that,
you were driving. You had them on the ropes almost.
Listen, I was going.
The only thing that didn't go was the execution. That's it.
I walked to the bathroom, guys.
No,
okay,
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Did you do it too?
So I'm watching the game with my buddy.
I heard it, and I was like, "Oh my God, what happened?"
Yes, I did play-by-play for my friend who was in the bathroom. He got up. I got up. I went to go grab another slice of pizza. He's in the bathroom. I turn around, 2:04, 2:03. I said, they're not really going to snap this, are they? I stood up. I said, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. And then, what do you know? I'm like, Doc, they're snapping the ball. He thought I was messing with him.
But see, I didn't have a problem with it for 2 reasons. Number one is, to Greg's point, at that point, you're actually moving a little bit. And if you don't stop the clock at the 2-minute warning right there, you get to run another play with tired defenders on the field.
Yeah.
And if you get the play off, say it takes you to 157, you basically get a free timeout to call 2 or 3 plays at the 2-minute warning because the Birds only had 1 timeout left. Yep. Actually, at that point, I think both teams had one timeout left.
Yeah, they had to waste that early one.
Right.
In the second half.
Right, but
the
here's
first drive.
But here's
second play.
Who's that play on though, guys? I mean, everybody wants to just point it getting a snap off before the 2-minute warning on Doug. Well, who's doing the cadence?
Nick could have been the one getting up to the line and saying, "Let's go."
Yeah, who's doing the cadence? After 15 seconds, with 15 seconds left on the play clock, the headset mic goes off.
Yeah.
So you ain't in communication no more.
Right.
So who snapped the ball? That's all.
Fair enough.
Not about Jake. This is not about Jake, but I seen people crush Doug over this. What are you crushing about? Like, Nick snapped the ball. That's on him. Okay.
Right. Doug Pease to his back at this point because they're already at the 20-yard line, 25-yard line.
Our guy with our best hands, essentially. Drop the ball that might be, like Mike said, not the best throw, but
not a bad throw, but not the best.
I don't agree with that, but I'll get to that. Go ahead after.
Yeah, like I think it's there. I mean, I agree with him. The Carson drives it into your chest. Okay, easier. But I mean, listen, for that guy, that's the easiest ball we would have called all day.
Yeah, but you guys got to watch that play again because it's almost like he ran a route as if it was a zone because he kind of paused to almost like sit.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh, I'll keep going." And if he kept running, that ball is at his numbers. He paused for just that split second, and that's the difference between here and here.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Timing.
And another reason people keep telling me that would have been an 8-yard gain. That when he
no, it would have been like 6, 5.
Where the ball hit his hands was 3 yards past the line of scrimmage. So don't tell me Alshon Jeffery is going to fight.
That's not right.
Look at it again.
Dude, I'll bring up the game book right now. I will bring up the game book.
Let's take it up.
The line of scrimmage was the 28.
Right? 28, okay.
The interception took place at the 17. That's 11 yards. The ball deflects off of his hands at the 19.
All right, I'll find it.
It's 19. It's a 9-yard completion.
No.
It definitely wasn't.
We'll find it. We'll find it. Yeah.
I'll bring up the game book right now.
But I'll disagree with you completely on it being on Foles because I've watched that play so many times. I'm killing myself watching that, and he pauses just the slightest bit. I don't know if it was because there was almost like a whoever's in the slot there. I think it was Nelly. It was almost like a pick there, and he goes under him and he paused. I don't know if he paused to because he was in his way or if he paused because he was just going to sit there. But he paused just that split second, and that's the difference between reaching out and, he fired a bullet in there, but it would have hit him in the chest, I think, if he got going. And if he did keep going, then he might have would have, breaking a tackle and gotten the 8 or 9 yards or so. But he probably would have gotten hit, and we would have been stuck at a 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 5. But
yeah, I thought it wasn't a huge gain. It might have been like 5. It might end up being like 5-6 yards, but we were still going to be left with a 3rd and 4. It wasn't going to be a 3rd and 1. Or anything like that. But listen, it just didn't work out. Guy who always catches the ball didn't catch the ball. I mean, shit happens. I'm not going to that play I'm not going to blame on either one of them. To me, it happened all before that.
Yeah.
We shouldn't even be there. I look at that kind of shit during the course of a game. We shouldn't even be there. We happen to be there because we didn't make plays early on in the football game that we need to make plays or stops. We were there because the team went on an 18-play, 11-minute drive against us, okay? You want to know why the reasons were even at the end of the game was because everything that happened before. Yeah. So that the ending's only because of you not executing or bad picks, okay? City fumbles and 4th and 1s, right? Fake punts. I mean, it's so simple on what won and lost you the game. And then an 18-play, 11-minute drive is a game over thing. If that's not, hey, we just smacked you in the mouth. That's the most demoralizing thing for a football team.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like you came up on a bunch of 3rd and 2s, babe. You came on a bunch of 3rd and 12s.
3rd and 16.
Yeah.
3rd and 15. They tried to give us the ball back with the holdings and the delay of games.
We're the worst team in football. Does anybody give up more yards on 3rd down?
No.
Like 3rd and 2, we're goats.
In the 4th quarter and overtime?
Yeah, we'll blow you up.
Us.
We'll blow you up on 3rd and 2s.
Are we ready?
Yeah, I'm looking at it too. Go ahead.
2:01. No huddle, shotgun. N. Foles pass short intended for A. Jeffery at New Orleans 19. Intercepted M. Lattimore to New Orleans, 33.
Are you reading the game log, or are you looking at the replay?
You got to look at the play.
You got to look at the play. I got it right here. I got it frozen.
Dude,
the ball's on the 27-yard line.
Let me see.
The ball's. I have it paused right as it hits his hand. The ball's on the 27-yard line.
Right.
It hits his hand at like the 24.
See the play line
Right.
of scrimmage? It wasn't long. Like
It was long because he was in a shotgun,
He
and
didn't play.
well, you got to go back now.
That's fine.
It's
Yeah.
about
It
3.5
felt
yards.
Okay, so the
It felt a little longer.
so it goes through his hands and the actual interceptions at the 19.
Yeah, like here you
Right,
go.
right.
Here you go. I'll take it to the beginning.
But
for
again,
you.
it
It's
doesn't really
semantics.
matter.
It doesn't matter, but
Right.
it's just I thought it was longer too at first, Mike.
Yeah. No,
and
because-
then I rewatched it. I'm like, oh my god, we were talking about 3rd and 1.
Well, yeah, people were saying 3rd and 1,
Well,
first down.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course, when the game ends,
Everything feels like it's
Yeah,
close.
it-
right, well,
it's so fast.
right, but I get the email from the NFL with the game book.
Fair enough,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
immediately open the game book, and I'm like,
I saw the same thing too,
and
and I was like, I didn't think
and
it was.
And
yeah.
I start scrolling through, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so they would have had a 1st and 10 at the 19-yard
Yeah,
line.
right?
I'm
Like,
all right.
no way.
Mark Davies, it looked like that the pause was more to catch and make a move back outside. You know, that
Yeah,
it almost
that's
looked
an
like
Alshon thing.
It almost looked like that was what it was setting up to.
But it
So-
was before the ball was even thrown, it looked like.
I mean, that's why I would feel like he was trying to, like you said, maybe sit down in the zone, but more catch and turn and get back outside. You know, because whatever, that's sort of his go-to and his move.
Him and Nelly, they do it really well, actually.
And Dirk Dower says for 3 damn quarters, no points. What the fuck? You can't make it up. You can't script it.
Well,
you can't script
it's
it.
interesting that he brought up a name. He was prevalent in those first 2 drives.
Who?
Nelly. And then he was him and Sproles and listen, I understand when Brooks went down, the running game went down, and I understand, hey, there was no running game to begin with.
Yeah, second best rush defense in football.
There was no running game to begin
in.
with, so I understand why we go away from it, but we couldn't have gotten Nelly involved in some way.
we could have
This is what guys don't understand. How many plays are run?
Oh no! When you go
to the game
when you're 3 and out,
But that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, though
We're all begging to get guys involved. Well, you can't get a fucking first down. Nobody's going to get involved.
That was the one thing
You're
that
right.
jumped out at me as I was scrolling through the game log. They had a drive that was 13 plays.
You're right.
13 plays, 92 yards over 12 minutes of clock.
Yeah.
That's what you're just
Yo,
talking
it was 18 plays, 11 minutes. 18 plays.
Yeah.
Because of the penalties.
The penalties.
You
right.
have 4 penalties or 3
There was
penalties?
like 3 holding calls, a delay of game.
Everything. I mean, they're like, here we go, Eagles. We're trying. Somebody get this team off the field?
Yeah. I think the Saints went over like 100 yards.
Yeah,
if you get all the penalties, you know what I
They
mean?
start on their own 30.
Go back to the Aguilar thing for a minute, because there was a play in the game where he's basically running a seam route.
Oh, yeah, where
that
was
was
that
the-
pass?
Okay, here's the thing that pisses me off about this though. Everybody wants to blame him for not getting his head around fast enough. But if you watch the replay on that, kind of like you were saying with the Alshon play, he hasn't cleared the linebacker yet.
No.
When Foles throws the ball.
Yeah.
That throw is early. And that's
Very early.
Dangerous,
it's,
too.
It's early, and it's on Nick.
Yeah.
If he waits 3 more steps,
He lays
Alshon
it out.
And he throws his, classic Foles deep floater
he's
ball.
gone. Yeah, he's
got
gone.
it.
He's gone, and it's a
Touchdown.
touchdown.
Yeah,
Nelly was
Yeah,
already
Nelly.
wild.
Yeah, like you got to understand. So this is all the people, right? They want to crush now, right? He's here, man. He's here, making the move to make the defender think sideline, then cut back
can't
in
run
on that
back.
route. So you're talking about getting his head around. You have to make the move with your head here, so he thinks you're going this way, and then when he cut back in, that ball was already thrown way too soon.
Hold on, let's be honest.
Would have been a great ball. But
Did we want Nelson to catch that ball and score a touchdown with 3 minutes left and just have Drew Brees kill us like he did?
Oh,
do that? No, I'm just teasing.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
I'd rather be playing with the lead.
That's true. No, I'm teasing.
But you're 100% spot on. That would have happened.
I was there in that game, We might. Oh, that was
And we
awful.
would have had 42 penalties thrown on them.
for
and
sure.
it would have been a
they would have
42-play
returned. They would
drive.
have returned the kickoff to midfield. That's for sure.
Easily. You know where I'm at.
Kamara would have been back there, and him and Taysom Hill would have done a reverse.
But yeah, he was just too early on that throw. And so the list of things continue for the Folesian society that you don't want to see.
Yeah.
I am not paying. I love the dude the death. Okay, I told you last year he could leave
the kid on Broad Street.
and we're just tossing money to him.
a
Not like a
legend.
stripper.
He's
Not
a
like a
legend.
stripper. We're just classy. Okay. And then the second thing is, all right, we sat here, we talked about that this guy's good enough for us to still win a Super Bowl last year. So we weren't like
I didn't think so, but everybody else did.
But we
And it
weren't
happened.
like oh, we have no shot with Nick. Like, we trusted Nick, but we know who our fucking guy is. And for you people that are just blinded and can't see it, it's a shame because, you know, we have the ability as a fan base to ruin guys here. All right? And the last guy you want to ruin is one of the best guys around. You all forget Dutch Destroyer already? You all forget the videos that were viral that all you guys shared and how much you love him? You forget how a good guy he is and how his teammates love him, and he's the first guy in to work every day and the last guy to leave, and that's a culture changer, and you still don't want to see it because a guy won a Super Bowl for us and he was the quarterback?
They can't handle the truth.
Okay, let's get behind this guy so we can go win more. How about that? How about we try that for a half a minute?
Let's rally behind Wentz like we're rallying behind Alshon right now. You know what I mean?
Like I said, you know what? You're our guy, dude.
Let's go.
We trust you.
Let's go.
We know you've been banged up, but who hasn't? I can show you Tom Brady's injuries for days this year, okay? Guys get banged up in this league, all right? But I trust that he can fight through it, that there's a reason all this shit happened. And I love when half the fan base doesn't believe in a guy because it always ends up the guy has a pimp fucking year.
Let's go.
And this is MVP coming for you next year.
And this is a year that's coming up where, you know, again, we talked about it earlier. You said we rushed him back. I was hoping he didn't come back till week 6, week 7, week 8. For him to come back week 3 and battle through it.
It's toughness.
Let's go. Like,
toughness.
Good job, Carson.
But you know what happened,
and we're being
Josh?
so hard on him.
But you know what happened, Josh?
What happened?
Guys around him, because of how special he is, maybe didn't play the best they can play because they expected him to make all the plays. Yeah. Well, you understand? And that's a little bit of it, too.
So,
but Raymond Rivera, what up? What up, Raymond?
Second quarter, Eagles are up 14-0.
Okay.
12 plays, 79 yards, 7:37 off the clock. That's not even the long one.
Right. Yeah, they had some long drives.
That's a 12-play drive. We go to the third quarter.
But you know what it was? You know what is a huge drive for me?
8 years to come back from.
Was,
Andrew, are you okay, babe? 8 years to come. What year you living in? You watching Booby Miles on Friday Night Lights? What year you living in, babe? That think 8 years.
18 plays, 92 yards, 13:20 off the clock.
Ouch.
And that's gameplay, but that felt like an hour of real time.
And that was
you know
right
what I mean?
after our
that
3 and out to start the half.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is
are we at break yet?
Two big drives for me. Before halftime, we get the ball. We make a stop from them. All right, we're up 14-0. We give up the fake punt. We give up the 4th and 2 at the goal line, which was another ballsy play, by the way.
Yep.
We get the ball back with I think it was 2 minutes and 20 seconds or something like that. And I'm thinking nice. All right,
get 3.
We're gonna get a first down. We're gonna take this into the half. We're gonna be up a touchdown. We ran 3 plays. And I think they were all incompletion. So we were in 3 plays in what was 10 seconds, and we give the ball back to them, and they get that field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which is fine because now we're getting the ball back again. And then we go 3 and out, to start third quarter. So we went 6 plays, and I don't think we gained a yard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it went from 14-7 to 17-14.
Well, like we talked about before the show.
Yeah.
They went from 14, the drive that put them up 14-0. To the beginning of their last drive when they turned it over, 99 yards of total offense, which was roughly 3 full quarters.
Right.
Yeah.
That's 33 yards a quarter on average. I mean, that's horrible.
It's not winning anything.
Ah.
You're not winning football games on the road like that.
Hurts.
And we talked about it. We talked about it Wednesday. Talked about it Sunday.
You're not winning a regular season game on the road, let alone a playoff game.
Yeah, and you can't turn the football
against a
over
team
that
that's
one.
better than you.
Yeah.
Against a team that's better than you. Okay, we're up 14-0. Like I said, I wasn't comfortable. I looked at my live betting app. No, of course not. Of course not. But what I'm saying like that is if you're the better team and you're up 14-0, you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're not the better team, which we all can agree that we weren't, you're up 14-0. You gotta keep going. You can't make that mistake to let them back into it like we did with the interception.
My orders at the bar were a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, let's go. We're getting a refill.
So now
low refill.
So now you throw that pick, and even though we're still at 14-0, you're thinking, oh no. They get the fake punt. Oh no, here we go. They go for them 4th until they get a touchdown. When it was 14-7, I'm thinking that's it.
I knew it.
You know what I mean?
I knew it. You felt it.
You're watching the game like this now. Even though you're still winning, you're on the road. You're so nervous. I mean, it's Philly. You know what I mean? So
we're always
nervous. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't comfortable. I needed points.
It went from thinking NFC title game and it real quick.
I was looking at flights to LA.
Dude, seriously,
oh my God!
I'm gonna start charging you $150 an hour to be here.
I got a StubHub ticket voucher.
I feel like your goddamn psychiatrist right now.
I was looking up flights.
This is like therapeutic.
I got a buddy.
I'll pay you $150 to be here.
I got a $250 voucher for StubHub, right? So my ticket was pretty much paid for. I got a buddy. I was looking up Jinx. It's me. My fault, guys.
I got a bunch of stuff on the tube here. Matthew Stevenson, I guess going back to the fake punt defense, whatever. Doug made the right call. Y'all crazy.
What's up, Steve-O? That's my buddy.
JPMCO4 said Superdome is the house of horrors. The place is cursed.
Most likely.
Harlem Cowboy, what up, fellas? Must say that was a rough weekend, and F the Rams. Yeah, he's on the losing side, too.
They bent you over, right? Right, Harlem, they just said, hey.
Was he a Cowboys fan?
Oh, wait a minute.
We ain't even wetting it.
Is that C.J. Anderson running down the street? I'm going to see if I can go stop him for a second.
He's still going.
Because the Cowboys
another donut.
He's on his way to Pete's over there.
Yeah, wow, you want to talk about you guys got a good front seven, great linebackers. Everything got exposed.
Yeah. Nitro Freak. The gang's back. TTP Ballin says hashtag FTR. You.
What up, brother?
Edgar Venzer. I'm a Wentz guy, but that's unfair to Foles because he was having a game.
What's unfair to Foles?
Winning drive and Alshon dropped it.
Okay, babe. What did he do?
What did he do the whole rest of the game?
Come on, you guys put things in one. You guys put things in all one little spot. Like you don't like go through the rest of the game.
Fair. Come on.
There's a reason he's on the goat wall. No
Matthew Stevenson said St. Nick won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we know that. Thank you.
We should hold up a clown sign every time. We should get clown.
The whole team won the Super Bowl.
Like every time we talk about Nick winning a Super Bowl by himself versus Tom Brady, it was just there was no wide receivers, no linemen. It was just him and Brady throwing the trash cans.
He wasn't touched that game.
Yeah,
all right, I gotta laugh at Harlem Cowboy on this one. He goes, I saw it all happening again, like, oh no, Foles and the Birds are going to win by 1. And then Alshon saved me. Nitro Freak says, Doug forgot for a split second that Drew Brees would have got the ball back with over a minute. It is what it is now.
Come on, bro.
You got to score.
Yeah, How do you know? How do you know? How do you know that you don't?
You can't mess around.
How do you know you don't take that drive in the 30 seconds left? How do you know that? You don't know that from the 30-yard line out. You don't know that.
If you have 2 timeouts or 3 timeouts left, maybe.
But the way that game was going, you just score.
Yeah. Don't worry about when you score.
That's it. You play to win the game.
North Dakota Mama, and I guess this is referring
What up,
back
Mama?
This might be referring back to something from last week.
It was.
Meant no disrespect to Michael or Dennis or any of the crew, but Kyle is a young pup with much to learn.
Oh, we're trying.
Glad he's not the GM. Enjoy the discussions.
Dirk Dower said Trent Green won a Super Bowl, too.
Yeah.
What happened to him?
Wait, did Trent Green win a Super Bowl?
He did. I think with St. Louis.
Wasn't that Kurt Warner?
It was Kurt Warner.
I thought it was all Warner.
You're talking about Brad Johnson.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tampa.
I think he's wrong about Trent Dilfer.
No, Trent
Dilfer
did.
Yeah, but he said
Trent Green didn't. Trent Dilfer did.
I know, but he said Trent Green right here. And I'm like, what's he? Trent Green? I don't think Trent Green.
Dilfer won one in Baltimore.
Trent Green got hurt, and that's when Kurt Warner came in.
That's what
happened.
Right.
That's what happened there. Dirk Dower says, I don't know if I can get down with banging on Schwartz out there coaching them corners he had. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, no.
It's true.
The only issue I would have with Schwartz at all on Sunday is just
the picket fence.
Again, it's too much cushion.
Playing sticks. Yeah, but that's what he's doing all year. So it doesn't come as a shock
It's not a new thing.
It's not a shock,
just,
It's just, here we go.
Here we go again.
3rd and 15, we're playing sticks. Like, you know what I mean? If he was a guy that brought pressure and blitzed and all of a sudden he does that, we're like, what are you doing? You're going against what you believe in.
Yeah, you don't have Jimmy Chitwood back there. You can't run a picket fence.
But we know it's coming. We know it's coming, and that's the toughest part. It's like, but why do we play 15 yards back? Why don't you play 10 yards back?
I got some more here, guys.
Josh, and you know what else it is? Real quick, there's no stunning up front barely ever.
Yeah.
So every offensive lineman's like, I know this guy's coming right at me. Makes your job a lot easier.
Yep.
And you never bring pressure. You never show pressure back out. And when everybody knows you blitz 7% of the fucking time, nobody's going to expect it. Quarterbacks are going to be more comfortable. Sometimes in games where you're going long drives like that, you got to dial it up because now your front four is getting tired. Mm-hmm. So you got to dial it up. You got to help them out a little bit.
Give them a different look. Make them think.
They're
not even thinking going to the line. They know exactly what we're doing.
And that's my issue with it at times.
That's all. I mean, whatever.
Joel Harris says, what's up, boys? Offense is
Brother?
terrible.
Yeah, we know that.
Need a running back.
Yeah. Need one bad.
Clearfield Kevin says, let's go Flyers. Sean Couturier.
Ruined the first pick. Go ahead.
Sean Couturier hat trick tonight. Carter Hart, love him so much. Love this kid.
I love Carter Hart, but I'm just giving this kid don't matter.
JLash90.
Lose.
Jamie says, I have a fleur-de-lis tattoo on my left arm. The loss is on me, fellas.
Oh.
Ooh.
Son of a bitch.
Gongos951, what's happening, guys?
What's up, brother?
And Clearfield Kevin goes back to the Flyers. Amazing, phenomenal, awesome, gorgeous, beautiful, great, huge win tonight. All right.
I thought you were talking about Taryn Hatcher.
Good enough.
Matt Urich says, held a team that averaged about 35 a game at home to only 20 points. No, defense did a hell of a job, Matt. Hell of a job. Nobody's shitting on them.
No, and speaking of that, not that he doesn't get enough credit, but I get to really pound the pavement and the fence for Malcolm Jenkins. To be able to hold that secondary together when you got four jabronis like us back there, and he's able to hold them together and compete. I'm not saying they were great, but they competed down the stretch.
Absolutely.
You don't win 6 of 7, 6 of 8 without a secondary that's at least competitive.
Right.
Are they as good as everybody else? No, because that's why they're coming off the streets. But the fact that he was able to
you have street free agents back there,
to band them together and become some sort and win a playoff game.
Yeah.
Love Malcolm.
Gongos951 says offense is to blame for the loss. If anyone told you we were going to keep the Saints to 20,
sign up every day.
You would have bet your life we would have won.
Sign here.
And then
Absolutely.
Jalil Harris says, do you think we draft a wide receiver? I'm going to say no.
No.
I think they
Not high.
I think they try to bring back Tate.
I was just going to say the same thing. Well, I think they try to bring back Alshon and Tate, or Aguilar and Tate.
Well, we have an option on Aguilar. So
right.
Yeah. But, at first, before I looked at the free agents, I'm like, nah, we don't really need Tate. He's 31 or whatever. And then I looked at the free agent wide receivers.
And went, yep.
Number 1, Golden Tate. Yep. I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? You look at the other names on that, and you're like, oh, God.
I want all my weapons back offensively.
Yeah, for sure. And give Carson a whole offseason.
Yep.
Carson's going to bring his boys out there to the farm.
Absolutely.
And they're going to run some routes, and they're going to get together, and they're going to shoot some quail or whatever the hell they do.
Here's the thing.
And we know what happened after that the last time.
Right. And
exactly.
Let
them gel.
Yeah, this came up in the Real Talk group this afternoon, and somebody said to me that they wanted I forget who it was. But the whole question came up about wide receivers.
Not a lot of good ones out there.
Right, but I had basically said was if you can keep they were talking about needing somebody to stretch the field. And I right out of the gate, I said if you keep Alshon, Nelson, Tate, Hollins, and
that's what I was going to say,
and Gibson. Okay.
Well, Gibson will be a special teamer. I don't think you'll ever do. But I hear what you're saying.
It's depth because every team typically keeps 5. You keep those 5, and then you have Ertz and Goddard.
Yep.
You don't necessarily need to stretch the field.
No.
As much as you can, and
you'd like to.
I'll call the Chip Kelly thing here. Spread the field.
Mm-hmm.
Spread the field to run the football.
If you have 5 weapons, if you have 3 wideouts and 2 tight ends with a single back set, and you have 5 to 6 guys in the pattern like that at one time, Carson's going to just pick and choose and just work his way down the field all day long.
I think Matt Collins could be that stretch the field guy.
Yeah,
I mean, he was hurt all year.
Come
back. Yeah, Nelson could. I mean, you've seen Nelson the last couple of years get some of those balls. You know what I mean? And if Nick would have waited another 2 seconds, we would have had that. No. Yeah. But,
exactly.
I think the organization thinks that Matt Collins is that guy, which makes me think that they're not going to touch that position in the draft.
JLash9
says, I think you can do that with just bringing back Nelly and Golden and having Hollins, and he's got a ton of talent.
Yeah, JLash90 says, I want the kid from Ole Miss. I'm not sure who that is.
Watching a lot of Ole Miss football out there?
Jalil Harris says, give Jay a 1-year deal and get Bryce Love and redshirt him for a year.
Well, he's already hurt.
Yeah, well, that's why he's redshirting. Oh, speaking of...
You can get Bryce Love in the third. You have 2 thirds.
Speaking of Bryce...
if
we do take one, that's
Greg, Greg, hold on. Greg, speaking of West Coast running backs,
yes.
Did you see who they signed to a reserve futures contract yesterday?
No.
Your boy, Donnell Pumphrey.
Oh, yeah.
He's back. He's back again.
The only guy the entire NFL missed on in that draft. We got him.
Benny Snell, Eddie Brown says, I like Benny Snell a lot, Eddie.
Yeah. I think we're all on Benny.
Jeremy Natchigale says, what about the Sean Jackson coming in on a cheap deal? Nah. I'd rather have Tate.
We don't need him.
I'd rather have Tate.
We got money to spend elsewhere.
The family wants Sixers talk. They're begging for Sixers talk.
A.J. Brown, Ole Miss.
Oh, gotcha. The family wants Sixers talk. We'll get into Sixers talk. We promise you.
Is he like Laquan
We'll talk about him.
Coming to the NFL and can't catch?
Well, we said to come in the show, a huge 12-game stretch coming up here for the Sixers. We're going to find out a lot about them. We really will. Obviously, Corey Brewer, solid addition. You know, a vet. He's 32. I mean, whatever. It makes your bench a little bit better than it was.
Exactly.
Which anything will. Like, any guy who's played a little bit in this league is going to make your bench.
You didn't like Haywood Hightower?
I'm good. But
I keep him just on name value.
But you see last night, when you get production from this bench, this team's really almost unstoppable. When you get any type of production. So we'll talk Sixers in a little bit. You got questions? Bring them. We'll answer them.
I have a question for you.
Sixers are looking at Vonleh, Mike Parker
says. I'm going to put you on the spot right now.
What you got?
Thomas Lee Arnone.
I love my middle name, so bring it.
Do you have an agenda? The floor is yours.
With what?
With the words of Wilson.
Oh, he's a fucking idiot. No, I have no agenda. He has the agenda. His agenda.
That was great. The whoop whoop at the end made it.
Hashtag whoop whoop.
His agenda is to somehow make himself look better by making up lies about me. Like, if you ask anybody, like, if I'm okay with the Eagles losing, that's a lie. I've been never okay. I'm the worst after Eagles losses. All right, this one was easier to take because we just won a Super Bowl, you know, and everything that happened this year. Yeah. But I wasn't happy. You know,
I was just in shock.
Monday I was more upset than I was Sunday, honestly. But
same.
Like, don't you come in the group with agenda-based stuff. And he can bring it Sunday and try to bring it, and I'll destroy him again. But to say that, like, I wanted Nick to fail is bullshit. Like, I love Carson. I love Nick too. But I love Carson more because he's better. That's the only reason I love him more. But, yeah, he's one of my kids. I got a lot of sons out there. You know what I mean? I got a lot of child support for these guys. And Adubel might be back. It might be back. Because guess who's already in Clearwater working out? Guess who?
He looks buff, too.
A dude was already in Clearwater working out.
He knows Bryce is coming.
Yep.
He knows Bryce and Manny are coming.
Raymond Rivera.
Anybody would love to hit with Bryce and Manny in the lineup.
Here's a good one. Yeah, we'll talk about Bryce and Manny, too. Shaquan Gitters. What up, brother?
What up, Shaquan?
What about Ramsey? Well, this is what could happen with Jacksonville. Two different scenarios. One.
Yes, and yes.
One, you could trade. This is what I would do, right, because I get cute. I trade Nick in a first for Ramsey yesterday, okay? I'm willing to give up a first for a 24-year-old best player at his position maybe in the league.
A 25th pick. It's not, it's a first,
yeah,
but it's
a late first. I'm willing to give you the first, Nick. I want Ramsey, okay? Or I'll go another way with you. I'll give you a first and a third, and I want Fournette. I'm not giving you as much for Fournette as I'll give you for Ramsey.
Why don't you go Nick first and third for both?
How about Nick first, second, and your 2/3 for both?
Let's
give
go.
up all the picks for fucking impact players. I'll do it.
I could see Fournette.
You know what I'm saying? Because they got to get money off their books, too, to bring in that kind of money.
He's had some issues down there with that team. I
don't think they're issues. I just think
I think he's available.
Barry Pettyman says the dude will swing it at the air. He might just want to be down there and not up here. I don't blame him.
Gongos 951 wants to know what you guys think of C.J. Anderson. Has he played his way into a job next year?
Yeah.
And
for someone,
And do we have interest?
No, he played a job. Listen, my interest is he's better than what's on your roster. Yeah. But I think he stays there. I would think. Oh, yeah. I don't think. I
mean the donut selection out in L.A.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Phenomenal. And he's had a lot.
He's had a lot. You can tell.
So real quick, guys, we got like 4 minutes till we go to break. I want to ask you guys, if the Birds punch it in there, knowing that you're giving the ball back to Drew Brees with, say, a minute to go, give or take.
Do they still have their timeout?
And they still have, New Orleans has one timeout. Do the Birds win that game?
No.
Well, say this again. I'm sorry.
So let's say the Birds go in, they score. They kick an extra point. They're up 1.
Yeah. With how much time left?
New Orleans gets the ball back with roughly a minute and one timeout. Do the Birds win that game?
Absolutely not.
Probably not. The only way they're going to win is a missed field goal. So I'll say no. Jason Wimmer.
I'm no. Just because of how little impact we had on Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
I've watched that movie before.
If we're up 4 and you got to score 7, yes. Or you got to score 6.
Probably, yeah.
Then I believe we win because we're the best red zone defense in
but
football.
don't break right there.
Yeah, I mean, the stats say we're the best
and
red zone defense in all football.
Will Lutz is basically a machine.
I thought we were going to lose against the Bears, too, and that was Mitchell Trubisky.
He's basically a machine.
Thanks, Will, for the cover. Let's go.
Yeah.
He had one miss earlier. He wasn't going to miss again.
No.
So Jason Wimmer says, no doubt my mind birds win. So nice. So somebody out there believe, and I don't disagree with you. The way, listen, if we score there, then it's just it's that eerie feeling like, oh, here it comes again.
Kamara Hill runs it back to the 40.
Yeah. Is it Foles walks off the field against New Orleans again with a lead?
Yeah, I know.
And they don't win it for him.
But Jeremy,
that would be Foles' fault, right? That's not Foles' fault.
In your scenario, the Saints score with a minute left, and we're like, you know what I mean?
The Eagles score with a minute
left.
The
Eagles score, and we're just like, oh my God, here we go.
Raymond Rivera says he's hoping Kareem Hunt has a second chance like Vic. I believe he will, and I'm all in on it. Okay, I wasn't in before. I told you when the dust settles, I'll be more in on it. When I look at this, when I got a chance to get a 24-year-old, one of the best players in his position, and bring him in a locker room like this, abso-goddamn-lutely, because I get him for cheaper. You understand? It's a double win. I trust my guys in my locker room to control, right? Could we create that environment? Okay, I absolutely, because somebody else will. Yeah. So go ahead.
Gongos 951 says Drew Brees needing 40 yards with a timeout in a minute. Don't see it. Oh my God! What?
Don't see.
How
many times have we seen it?
Don't see us winning or don't see us stopping.
How many statues of Nick Foles do you have in your house?
Wow.
Raymond Rivera says on that interception, Ertz was wide open.
Yeah. That's another thing.
Well, where's the screenshots? Hold on, you fucking crumbs. Where's the screenshots like you did to Wentz with Wendell Smallwood out of the backfield? Where are those screenshots?
Against the Panthers?
Where are those screenshots? Where are all them? Flooding pages and groups with all them. You crumbs.
Gongos 951 also said I was entirely against Hunt when that happened, but now I take
Me too. Listen, Facebook hit me for bullying because I was against hitting women. You believe that? Like, this is how they think out west. Okay? So I got hit for that. But now I'm saying, the dust settled. Go run for 1,500, please. I've seen enough of this. I love Wendell. He runs hard. Great backup. We'll keep you. Go run for 1,500. You catch the ball well in the backfield. You're getting one of the top 5 backs in football, and you're probably getting them for a couple mil. Honestly, because nobody's going to go give them. Or worst case scenario, there's not much guaranteed money in the deal, if at all. Yeah. If at all. And it's more on, hey, you got to go produce.
We got to wait to see what happens, what the league does with him, because right now he's just,
you bring him in.
I don't know how many games he's
bring him in. You get the suspension figured out. You attach Harold Carmichael to his hip for a year. Teach him how to be an adult, and let's go. Yeah.
Listen, there's so much. We're going to talk about, obviously, what's coming up for the Eagles.
A lot to talk about.
19 free agents. We're going to talk about that on the other side, obviously, when we get over to YouTube. The link's in the description for the YouTube link. You can click on it. We'll take a couple-minute break, and we're going to head over there, and we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, people want to talk Machado and Harper. We got to get into that for a couple minutes. Anything 10-9-8 always on the table. Obviously, big win last night. A lot of trolling going on with Jimmy and Joel, which was funny. Joel's the best.
Third stringers.
Joel's the best, yes.
Yeah, Joel's the best. I know your issue with Jimmy. You can get that off your chest as well with no problem. Hey, open forum, babe. Yeah. That's what we're here to do. We're here to vent, clear it out, and we usually feel better about this.
This 12 game is going to really tell us about Mr. Butler.
So we did everything really in-game.
Yeah.
And I don't think, listen, family, if you want to continue to talk about in-game Saints stuff, it's on the table. But I say we can really get moving forward because I'm excited about 2019 for the Philadelphia Eagles. I know all 3 of these guys are. Maybe not the 4th guy, but the other 3 guys, absolutely all in on the Eagles. Listen, like I said, we'll drop the link's already in the description. I'll drop it in the comments. Click on, head over to YouTube. Everybody on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Come join us over there. Flood it over there. Let's continue to talk about it. Get it off your chest. For the fan, by the fan. It's over here for Clear the Air. Lot, Tom,
Mike,
AM,
in the PM,
A2D Radio. Thank you, Gibson Mayer LLC, certifying our show every year. Our certified public account.
Are you going to talk about somebody
every Wednesday night?
Are you going to talk about somebody that wasn't happy on Sunday night?
I don't blame him.
I can imagine.
Gibson Mayer LLC. Find him on the web, GibsonMayer.com, as well as our doc. Make him yours. Specialized Physical Therapy LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton, New Jersey. Go get. You need some things loosened up. Go see the
neck,
doc.
My back.
And both. Listen.
My neck and my back.
Tell them A2D Radio sent you. I'm not guaranteeing you shit, but maybe you get a little something off. Yeah. A little something on the house.
A few fuzzles back.
All right. So come over to YouTube with us. Continue to talk birds. We got to talk Harper Machado, obviously, and we'll talk 10-9-8. Flyers win 2 in a row. That's terrible because you're all You're winless for whoever. Remember winless for Wiggins? We're winless for the fastest skater out there, whoever he is.
Thank God we didn't go winless for Wiggins. Right?
Tom Arnone, right? Michael Mataraki, Greg Mwakovic, my man Josh Simonetti in the house, Robbie Pove on the 1s and 2s.
He's got to tell his story, too.
And we got to tell Josh's story as well. But listen, this is what we do. Our door's always open for the family.
It's been a year. Oh, man.
Crazy.
Fucking say that. Come on.
It is for the right family.
For the right family.
Yeah, I know what the fuck I'm doing here. Come on. We got to live with the door available for the fam. Like if it's a jabron, we view it, we see it once, and we're like, okay, we're out. We'll see you on the other side of YouTube.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. 215-369-3300. Or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, here on A2DRadio.com.
Tom Arnone, Big Mikey Smalls, Tom, Mike, AM, in the PM, only on A2DRadio.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, on A2DRadio.com.
Tom Arnone, Big Mikey Smalls, Tom, Mike, AM, in the PM, only on A2DRadio.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, here on A2DRadio.com.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Tom. Is that a mic?
That's a mic.
AM.
In the PM.
A2D Radio, live from the Real Talk Studios.
Whoop, whoop.
Every Wednesday night, we're brought to you by our certified public accountant.
Make 'em yours.
Gibson Mayer LLC. Find them on the web, gibsonmayer.com. Tom Arnone, Michael Mataraki, Greg Milwakovic, Josh Simonetti, Robbie Pope on the ones and twos. Family out there, let's talk about it. We talked about in-game stuff. Wanted a little fast forward to 2019, essentially. Well, free agents, who stays, who goes. And as well, we can talk a little draft. Still a ways away. You know, still got a lot to figure out there. You still got to go through the combine and all that and, you know, how that works. Guys are going to jump boards. But if anybody can pull up the 2019 free agents, that would be gigantic.
Yeah, I got it. I'll get there.
Take your time. But our poll question, you can still answer it, comment on it. Who's most to blame for the Eagles' loss to the Saints? Offense, defense, special teams, coaching staff. As a whole, I would say that we all said offense. There was a little coaching staff in terms of the fake punt, but as a whole, we went offensively, and I think most of us would agree that most of that fell on Nick.
How dare you?
I'm sorry.
Number 9.
I'm sorry. People don't want to hear it. People don't want to be real in this city. People want to be critical of franchise guys, but don't want to be critical of career backups. Because at the end of the day, everybody in this city, for whatever reason, fell in love with the whole underdog game in terms of like positional players and quarterbacks. Like sometimes it's okay, bro. The franchise guy is going to be better. You know, like these things are okay. Like you probably weren't this underdog story in your life. So like stop living off of Rocky and stop living off the perception of the city and stop living off of that kind of stuff and say, you know, who's our best option to win games in the postseason? Who's our best option because of what we saw? Who's our best option to get home field throughout? Okay? Because at the end of the day, you need home field throughout in the NFL playoffs to win. Or you need at least that one game at home and then go somewhere else for an NFC title game. But at the end of the day, this team played 5 out of 6 games on the road to wrap up their season. You're not going to continuously win like that. It's hard to not sleep in your own bed. It's hard to be traveling that much and expect to win football games. It's hard to do. So who gives us our best chance at the quarterback position, and we'll end this year, to get a bye and home field throughout?
And that's huge. That's huge. I mean, just look at, I think it's the
Kyler Murray? I don't know. It's Carson Wentz.
I think it's the last 5 years. I mean, that getting that home game is important. Obviously, home field throughout is better, but this year, 1 and 2 in both sides. I think it was that way last year as well. I mean, in the past, like, what was it, 6 years or something like that? Either a 1 or a 2, has made it. I mean, listen, we were a 6 seed this year. Yeah. So to a certain extent, like, you can say you expected them to get back to the Super Bowl. I mean, obviously, beginning of the year, yes. I mean, even with knowing that we were going to have, Wentz off a major knee injury. But early on in the season, you can tell we probably weren't going to win the Super Bowl. But we got that good feeling back when it came back, and we were thinking, like, maybe, is this going to continue? But at the end of the day, you look at it, we're a 6 seed. We had to go into Chicago, which, honestly, I thought we were going to lose that game. But, we win that game. And as much as I flipped Sunday morning, I'm like, we're going to win this game in New Orleans. We're going to win this game. At the end of the day, if we were a 6 seed, and only 2 teams have ever done that, you know what I mean? Like, so you can hope and wish and think that Foles magic is coming back, but we weren't good enough because we didn't have
11
exactly.
And listen,
well, and not only that, but
go ahead, Greg.
Just go through your biggest positions. Who's our top running back? Nobody. Right? Who's our secondary? Nobody. Who are our linebackers? Nobody.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Somebody.
Well, but I'm saying
I won't go there, but
right.
yeah.
But when you don't
Linebackers play pretty well.
when you don't have a stud at key positions, your team's just not that good.
No. So who's that fall on for getting in? Great coaching.
Yeah.
It falls on the culture Doug Peterson
and
brought here.
Because it is smoke and mirrors for a lot of it.
Well, we were yelling last night, and you sort of bought into this, which I love, right? Like this guy, and the reason this works and this culture was built here, okay, to play football in January, which is what was talked about. You got to play football in January to get to February.
Yeah.
So to play football in January, this guy, and I understand other guys do it, but there's something genuine about the fact that he waited outside his locker room.
That was awesome.
To give his players hugs. Because this guy's a player, so he gets it.
participation trophies.
But it's not that. It's love for his guys because they're humans, and he realized some might not be back, and just he knows how hard they fought for him and for this city and everything, and he's that guy. Like I shared a memory from 3 years ago when he got hired. And we talked about it, me and Mike. But this guy was running out of town before the flight even got in.
Right.
And pump your brakes. This guy comes from the tree. He's a former player. Like this guy, and I said it ad nauseum. Think about who this guy's been around. Shula, Marino, Favre, Holmgren, Andy, Donovan. The list goes on when he was a backup quarterback, which is probably the smartest guy besides the offensive coordinator
Well,
in the room.
When you go back and you look at that, because I was looking at it earlier. When you originally posted that, my comment on that was you have to give him 3 years. And in 3 years, he got himself a starting quarterback.
Yep.
He won a Super Bowl, and he made an improbable playoff run.
Exactly.
And the latter two with his backup.
Exactly. I mean, the guy to me is the second best coach in all of football. And it's really not close. I give it to Belichick because of what he's done for years. It's impossible. So it's got to be him, regardless if you like him or dislike him, whatever the case may be. It's him. Let's turn off the hate hat and just be real. Okay? But second up.
I don't want to turn off my hate hat.
Me either. But
it's hard to do that with New England, right?
But second up is Doug. Second up is Doug. And I think it's time for the fan base to not be – it's like you can be hard on guys, but realize this guy's really smart. And I got sick and tired of it all goddamn year that Frank Reich is the biggest genius in the room and the smartest guy in the room. Slow it the hell down. Because now you're disrespecting your head football coach, that he don't have a clue. So what this showed you is that, hey, Frank's a smart guy. Nobody's not saying that. But Doug might be even smarter. Okay? So slow down on that. It was all Frank Reich and D. Filippo. And without these guys, we couldn't continue success. Well, we lost all that, all the injuries, and this guy still gets you to a divisional round?
Well, let's see.
You know what I mean?
DiFilippo got fired this year, and Reich did a real nice job with his team, but he went on the road in a playoff game and he lost.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Did you see the Jags just got DiFilippo?
Yep. And I think it's a smart move for them.
Very good.
Nicky to the Jags.
He's going there.
It could very well happen.
Even before this, I think they were probably the leader of the clubhouse.
I'm sticking with Miami.
And that's fine.
Well,
You're staying in Florida.
But Florida is where he belongs.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Warm
no
weather.
weather.
Yep.
There's no weather because we know Nicky can't play the cold. Nicky can't play in the wind. You know, Nicky's captain participation trophy right there.
Yeah, listen.
So let's go play in the heat.
I love Nick.
Where the balls don't travel as well either.
I love Nick. He is what he is. But like I said before we went to break, we're going to go on to the free agents. But rally around 11. It's time for him for us to show him love. Like I said, Dutch Destroyer. Don't forget it. Don't forget what this guy's the kind of impact he's had, not only on the field but off the field. Don't forget about how good he was in 2017. Don't forget.
This is a guy who worked his ass off to get back on the field in 9 months when he should have been out 11, 12 months. He would have been lucky to get back on the field in December. We had him on the field in September. He worked his ass off to get back on the field for this team and this fan base, and now half the fan base wants to just run him out of town.
Sick.
It's disgusting.
I hate
it makes me dislike some of you. This is why I did the stupid video. They drew me in the nonsense.
I don't like people.
Which I haven't obviously because Wilson continues to pull the narrative. I haven't lived it down.
Poking the bear.
But what it was so much like this over top pedestal Nick love and disrespect to Carson. Like going into that Rams game because I thought we were done anyway is where I was like, I hope he throws 6 picks tonight because I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I just can't. And he did the opposite. He played well. He didn't overly play, but we defensively we got it done and we won the football game. And then it got now the pedestal even went higher.
Yeah.
And when you got into the dance is when it got outlandish. Because now like I said, now you have guys talking franchising and keeping him when you don't have the cap to pull these things off. It's Carson or nobody. And you got to ride with it.
We got 19 other guys to worry about.
And let's
throw $26 million at.
And let's get to these 19 guys.
All
and
right,
we're gonna play a little game. Stay, or you got to go.
Should I stay or should I go?
All right. Well, let's start with the quarterback position because this is actually kind of an interesting situation. Here. You've got Foles on an option, and Sudfeld as a restricted free agent. So is it time that Studfeld makes the jump up to number 2?
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's go.
He's been around the system for so long.
He's been groomed now for 2 years.
And he listened when he got into the Texans game. Doug said, "You throw that ball so far out of bounds because I don't need a real quarterback controversy on my hands."
Jesus God.
So, I think we're all unanimous that Foles goes. We're not even entertaining the idea of picking up the option or franchising or anything like that.
I just think it comes back to a money thing.
And you re-sign Sudfeld as the number 2.
Yeah.
All right, Sudfeld will be your number 2 guy.
Right. What are you playing, Madden over there, babe? The Colts aren't going to trade you Marlon Mack.
Here we go.
They're not going to trade you Marlon Mack.
For who?
Yeah, who you giving up for Marlon Mack?
I love Marlon Mack.
We got 19 free agents. Out of 53 men on the roster, we're trading for Marlon Mack. You got to get the guy in the draft family.
Well, hold on. Hold the phone. Let's back up the train for a second. If the Colts get Le'Veon Bell, they may look to move Marlon Mack. But that's a big, ginormous, huge
Why would they?
if.
Why would they even? They have a young running back.
Because that's where Bell claims that he wants to go.
Bell's a crumb.
Well, I know he's a crumb.
So to me, the Colts aren't that stupid. They got a young back who's cheap as can be.
No, you're right.
For
and
like
he's
3
a
more
flat-out
years.
stud.
And he's a pimp. Why would you make like I'm not involved in that deal? No.
And
no.
listen,
The Colts are glad. If Le'Veon Bell goes to the Colts, I will quit for 2 months. Okay? I won't come on and talk for 2 goddamn months because I'm not sure Le'Veon Bell is not going to the Colts. That's not what smart organizations do. That's not what smart coaching staffs do. You got a guy who's just as good maybe, and he's young, and he's younger, and he's a quarter of the price.
Mike and Greg, AM in the PM.
Hello.
2 months.
Is an eighth of the price right now.
2 months.
No, he's not going there.
No, because I'm trying to say they're not even getting Le'Veon the trade Marlon Mack.
No, but you're
it's
right.
not happening.
They don't.
You look at the Colts, the organization, what they've rebuilt in the last year.
It's young.
It's all young. It's about building through the draft.
Frank Reich's not dumb. He doesn't want that headache.
No,
he
dude.
doesn't need it.
The guy want to play. The guy want to play for a team that had a chance to go to a Super Bowl in the AFC. He want to play for them, and people even want a part of that guy. No, I don't want him. I don't want AB. Don't even bring their names up because they're guys I want no parts of.
All right, I'll give. The next one will be an easy one.
I'll pick you up from the airport, guys.
Bill Middlebrook. We'll talk about our back. It's got to come through the draft. To me, it's Snell, but we'll get in that. Let's get into the free agents. Stay or go.
Next one's an easy one. He's an exclusive rights free agent, Jake Elliott.
Yeah, he's back.
Keep him.
Legend.
Yeah. All right, so now all the rest of these guys are all completely unrestricted.
Yeah, let's rock 'em.
Okay?
Stay or go.
Brandon Graham.
Stay.
Go.
Stay for the right price. I think.
That's why I say
For the
go,
right price, you said it. I mean,
that's why I say go because sooner or later you can't keep everybody.
Well, I think he's a guy that wants to stay. I just feel not that he's going to take cheaper money, but he might just say, you know what, I want to be here.
and I think
guys.
Howie and obviously they want him back too.
I don't know. I don't know if that's obvious.
No,
I don't know.
I think
I think they could have re-signed him if they wanted him back.
Yeah, that's why. I think if he gives the hometown discount like he's talking about,
right. Well, that's why I say
absolutely.
they got to get creative with his contract. Whether it's
but it's at the end of the day, it's on him. How much is he willing to come down?
For sure.
Because
we
to
also
Greg's
gotta
point, if they
remember-
really wanted him, they would have had him last year.
And we also got to remember, I mean, it's all fine and dandy to say, oh, yeah, so-and-so is going to take a hometown discount. Well, there's also the NFLPA that has to approve all these deals. Like, you can't just, Nick Foles can't just come back for $5 million and just sit the bench because, he likes playing here in Philly.
All right, next one, Golden Tate.
yes, I think we touched on it earlier because what other option do we have?
No, Justin Pope. I do not think Nelson Aguilar gets traded. I think they keep these weapons. I believe they keep Nelson, Golden. We'll get into Nelson.
And Nelson's going to have a fire year next year, in my opinion. I mean, you bring that connection back that he had during Wentz's 2 years ago.
He's
Nelly had a year. He had a great year.
All right, ready?
Great guy. He's his guy. He really is.
Haloti Ngata.
Gone.
You know what? I got no problem bringing him back on another 1-year deal.
No, I have no problem with it, but I think most likely he's the guy who's gone.
Chance Warmack. Gone.
Can't get out sooner.
Next one I feel bad about, it's Chris Maragos, and he's gone. He's probably going to have to retire.
If he couldn't make it back this year for anything.
Mike Wallace. Gone. Interesting one here. Corey Graham.
Gone.
I want him back for the right price.
Well, I mean, I think that goes back. I get Darby, Graham. You know, what else do you do your secondary? I mean, we got Trayvon LeBlanc.
I
think he's gone. I got
a name coming up, so I think he's gone.
Only because I think there was a lot of positive that came out of these young guys playing, and then again, it depends on what happens with these guys, and then Sidney Jones possibly coming back. I mean, we have a lot invested in him because he was a first-round pick, so they're going to believe in him. Over those guys.
Rasul might play safety. You don't know.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Darren Sproles.
It's up to him.
Yeah.
I mean, but it would have to be.
I'm fine with it if they bring him back.
Yeah, as long as he's our third guy.
One word answers here. One word answers.
We got to break it down a little bit.
Next one, Ronald Darby.
I keep him for a 1-year deal, prove-it deal.
Yeah, I mean, we'd like to, but I don't know. If I had to guess, he's gone. I would like to keep him, like you said, on a prove it.
Yes,
but I don't think he will be here.
Stay.
I think he's gone.
Yeah. I want him back on a 1-year deal too. Richard Rodgers.
Gone.
Who?
Exactly.
Tight end.
Interesting name here, Paul Warlow.
We don't know what he.
If he's healthy, if he's
a young
healthy,
guy,
if he's healthy, I re-sign him. I don't give him anything. I mean, obviously, NFL contracts are not guaranteed. But I re-sign him and bring him to training camp and see what he can do.
Yeah, obviously, we saw something in him last year. Yeah. It's a shame he got hurt, so we didn't get to see what he had to offer. So, coming off a major injury like that, I mean, obviously he's had a whole year. He's going to have 18 months to recover, so you give him a shot and see what he has.
Leroy Reynolds.
I thought he played well in special teams.
Yeah,
if I can get him back on a 1-year deal, I'm good.
Well, all right. So, interesting here, though, because the next one on the list, they're basically the same guy, DJ Alexander.
They're probably both going.
Any preference on either?
Why not both?
I
have no problem with that.
For cheap special teams guys.
Yeah. You got 11 picks this year. You're going to have special team guys in the
Leroy
6th and 7th round.
Wears the shoulder harness, so I'm a fan of that.
Yeah, but you're thinking about you have 11 picks, right? You have 11 picks, but you're probably looking at losing probably 11 players out of that 19. So really, you have to look
more.
but you're looking to keep. To me, you're looking to keep around maybe 10 of that 19 because you figure your later round picks aren't going to play.
Right. Staying in the linebackers, Jordan Hicks.
Bye. I think he's gone.
I think he's gone too.
Bye, girl.
I mean, Nigel showed he can almost play it by himself out there, and I think that's going to be a draft.
Almost.
And the sad thing is, they're going to have to draft late because they can't use a first or second on this. No. So this is going to have to be like a third or fourth where you get a guy, you steal a guy. So,
you know what's going to happen, though, in all seriousness? They're going to have to draft an offensive lineman in the first round, and this whole city is going to go 8
or second. One of the two. Yeah. But I agree. It's got to be running back, O-lineman, in some order.
Yeah, in
you know
some
what I mean?
order.
So it just depends on who's on the board.
Available, yeah.
But go ahead.
Interesting name here, Jordan Matthews.
Going.
I'd bring him back for the right price. If he's willing to accept the same role he had this year.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it comes back to
and he's
Tate,
a guy that would.
You know what I mean? Like, do you re-sign Tate? Is Tate out of the realm money-wise to where you have to let him walk, right?
Well, apparently, his he's looking at $10 million.
Right, but when you're strapped for cash and you need a running back, you need an offensive lineman, you need linebackers.
And that's why I say for the right price.
And that's why I was initially like, Tate go, because I think he's going to command too much in the open market.
Well,
and a receiver at 31. We'll see.
For me, if you're bringing him back as a number 4, and he knows it, and he's also one of Carson's closest friends, it's not off the table for me.
No, I mean, he seems like a good.
At the end of the day,
he's not one of them good locker room guys. But we'll see.
He caught the YOLO ball.
All right.
Yeah.
Jay Ajayi?
Yes, I want him to come back. If again, this goes down to the guy's been banged up his whole career. He's not going to be out there, getting a big contract. If he can come back for another 1-year prove-it deal, I mean, he's been with us. He's the locker room guy. Everybody loves him. If we can get him back for 1 year and get that spark that we had with him at the end of last year in the Super Bowl and in our Super Bowl run, I think he's a guy we can keep. I think a lot of our running backs, I think it's still going to be, if we bring Ajayi back, it's going to be Ajayi, it's going to be Clement, it's going to be Smallwood, it's going to be Sproles. It might be the same, and I know you guys are going to hate to hear that, but I think that's the way the Eagles organization is going. I don't think we're going to draft a running back in the second, third round.
Yeah, well,
I don't think it's how it's going to be.
They don't have a history of doing it,
exactly.
Josh. So I would say I would bring Ajayi back on a 1-year deal, and I would still draft my running back, and then
well, you have to because
but then my 4 guys, running back wise, would be Adams would be gone, but it would be Ajayi, a guy I drafted, Clement in his little role that he does, and Smallwood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I still got to draft my guy or hope to draft my guy.
But it's not going to be where you want it to be.
But I can still bring him along slowly.
No, I know what you're saying. Exactly.
I can bring him along slowly if I have Clement who knows the offense, Smallwood who knows the offense, Ajayi coming back slowly from an injury. So if I do it the right way, I can still add a piece. And if Foles wants to come back, you figure that out when you get there. But right now, I can't worry about that.
Oh, and here's the thing you could do with Ajayi, too, is – I mean, unless he is full-on 100% ready to go by training camp next year, you could put him on the PUP list, and then you get 6 more weeks of season for him to work himself back.
Well, like you said, he's got both knees, right? So you don't want to bring him back early. So you do the PUP list thing, and he should be 100% by week 7.
You're talking about almost a full year in September. So he's
should be fine.
He's actually a guy that could be good with that. But, I mean, I have no problem with it, Greg. You're talking about a guy you're bringing back for a 1-year deal with 10 carries.
No,
you know what I mean? Just a change of pace.
You look at this game. Like, look at New Orleans. Like, we literally could not run the ball because we had nobody good enough to
run the ball. That's why a guy like that needs to come back on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, even outside of that, you got to
good enough to run the ball.
You got to address the situation
but you're not gonna,
long term,
and you can't address it free agency wise. You got to address.
That's why I'm saying draft.
But listen, you haven't picked over a 4th round pick on a running back, and I can't tell you how long. Okay, the last running back that was nailed wasn't even this regime, and it was this guy, and that's 10+ years ago. So they haven't been good enough at it. So Howie, I'm looking at you. You got to make it or break it this year and address that position.
We could draft the best running back in the draft, but if Jason Peters is gone and we don't have Brandon Brooks, I mean, we need guys to block him.
Josh, that's why you got to nail.
That's why I think we're going to go offensive line.
Well, that's fine.
That's why I said you got to go offensive line.
But there's teams that nail running backs in the 2nd round all the goddamn time, all the time. And I believe we have 2 2nd-round picks.
One more name.
We do.
One more name, and it's not as inconsequential as people think.
Real quick, you go O-line, D-line, running back with them first 3 picks. O-line, D-line, running back, because you went up front. You went up front.
They might go safety.
Rick Lovato, long snapper.
I mean,
of course
you
got to keep him. Long snappers,
they stay for 40 years.
He's unristicted, though.
I know.
He's
going to
test the market out there.
Legitimately, he could.
Yeah, he could.
But
I bring him back.
But that's the thing is,
does Demi come with him?
It's funny, though, because you look, though, there are some teams that will go through these guys like the way people go through socks.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And we've had 2 in the last however many years.
Yeah, I think the smart ones keep their guys. Though.
Yeah.
You see the good organizations usually have the same guy.
They find a good one and they keep him forever.
I think he stays.
Yeah, I hope
What
so.
are you paying him, $1 million?
You only need
Probably.
32 people in the world that can
It's a great job,
you know what I mean?
though.
It is a great job.
$1 million, you're part of the
Killer
family.
Killer job.
You never get hit because nobody can touch you.
Yeah.
It's a great gig in the world.
But you get to run down and make tackles on punts.
Yeah, it's fun.
And they flex on them.
Oh,
Yeah, I love that. We recover a fumble here.
Justin Pope says absolutely O-line, D-line, running back in some type of order. Yes. You got to address it. If it's Snell, I don't know. I don't know who it's going to be.
We're obviously not the only ones who like Benny Snell. So.
Yeah, so, I mean.
And we're not picking early.
Listen, the year of Pumphrey, the year we drafted Pumphrey, we're the only team who didn't nail a running back that year. So there's tons of backs out there. There was last year again. There was tons of backs who made impacts as rookies. Look at New England playing in the AFC title game. Sony Michel, pretty good pick. Pretty good pick. You know what I mean? To get that semi-bell cow that they've never had. You know what I mean? They've always had a mixture. But you have to address his position. This position I love Wendell Smallwood. I love the way he runs. I love that he's physical. But let's be real. You need a guy who can break tackles, make guys miss in the open field, and break off chunk plays. You have to.
All right, so listen to this real quick. This is the full explanation on Foles. Eagles must decide by approximately February 12th whether to exercise his option for $20 million. If the Eagles exercise the option for $20 million, Foles still then has 5 days to give up $2 million, cash out of pocket, to void that year and become a free agent.
Which he will.
If he does not void that to become a free agent, the $20 million becomes fully guaranteed on the 5th day of the new league year.
Right.
Yep, and they can also franchise.
He can buy himself out, and then they can still franchise him.
Mm-hmm. They can still franchise him and deal.
That's how that works.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I mean, he's not staying, so that's clear as day. But you know,
we got to find a way to get as much as we can from him.
Listen, if you gave me a 3rd-round pick for him, I'm going to run with it.
You
know what I mean? At this point,
I would have taken Nick Chubb. Jeez.
You know, so I mean, I think you're going to get some people calling and some people interested. Like obviously Jacksonville, Mike likes Miami, and there's some other teams out there that obviously will be in the conversation. Because remember, the guy's 30 years old, so you know he still probably got 4 years left in him. So I mean, a good 4-year deal where he can help a franchise out, and they got time to draft their guy. You know, them kind of guys you see, teams will give you a 1st or 2nd for guys like that. So, but if I can go with the Jacksonville and say, hey, you know what? Let me take. I don't want Fournette because I just think he's a little head case-ish. But let me get Ramsey. Maybe I'll throw you a 2nd or a 3rd in for him, and then then that position is answered. You don't have to worry about that because teams don't even throw his way.
The 2nd or 3rd round pick that you want to draft a running back with?
Well, I'll draft that running back in the 2nd round because now my defense is one of the best in football. Yep. It really solidifies as one of the best in football because not only can we get after you with our front four, we got a corner who makes plays back there. You know, I just think that's a no-brainer to me because you don't have to draft a defensive lineman with your first 3 picks if you make that kind of deal. Mm-hmm. You can go O-line running back. You know, you just take the D lineman out of the equation. They're loaded up front. I mean, Derek Barnett's a pup, so you know they're loaded there, but you still have to address it. I mean, they still got to bring guys in, and you know, but if they bring Brandon Graham back, you're not in the rush to draft that D lineman right away. If you get him back on like a 3-year deal, whatever.
Well, see, if they're smart, and they are smart, but there are ways that they can cut corners on salary, and they already have them in house. Mm-hmm. Like you said, Derek Barnett's a pup. He's still on his rookie deal.
People forget that he's coming back, you know.
Josh Sweat also still in-house on a rookie deal. You can bring back Michael Bennett at a relatively low cost. You know, you have Jernigan, you have Cox. They have a kid on their practice squad this year that they love, the defensive end Ostman, who they just rave about him constantly. You could bring back Hector. You could bring back Hester. I mean, they could conceivably,
I love those twins.
Yeah,
Hector
and Hester. I mean, they could conceivably make some changes on the D line, get better, and save money while they're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, you still have Fletcher and Timmy, who you saw Timmy's impact.
Yeah.
I mean, that was immediate. We talked about it earlier in the year. Well, you didn't have an impact from Fletcher because you had no D tackle that could play alongside him.
Nobody to help him, right?
Yeah, that's why
he was getting double teamed, triple teamed. He was getting crack blocked. You know, I mean, you saw how effective he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the second part of the year.
Timmy's just a real good run stopper and can actually pass rush pretty well at times too. So, but yeah.
Hector, Hester, and Jernigan. That's a hell of a law firm.
It is. but I mean, seriously, though, if you look at the D-line, I mean, you could put it out there right now. If if your starting front four is Barnett, Cox, Jernigan, and Bennett, and then you back them up with Sweat, Hector, Hester, and Ostman, boom, there's 8 guys for your defensive line right there. Now, go start getting us some linebackers.
But the thing is, it's a lot of guys that are coming back on a 1-year deal. And if this draft is as historic as they're saying it is with D linemen, you know, you might be tempted, even though it's not your number 1 need.
Right.
You might be tempted to get a guy that you'll have.
I think what happens
you know
is
what I mean?
you get one of them.
Yeah.
When you probably need 3.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to bring some of these guys
For sure.
back.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to bring some of them back.
Well,
because you got 19 free agents, so you got to.
But I'm saying, like, I agree with a little bit of your saying, but I don't think they're going to just, you know, solve it with bringing everybody back. Like I said, I think this draft is so
you don't
deep.
Want Ramsey?
As you know, on the defensive line,
No,
I think that's a route that they might be forced to go.
No, I agree how it's funny that you think Fournette's a head case, but you're all in on Ramsey like he's not a head case.
Well, because Ramsey's better.
No, I
and
agree.
healthier.
No, he is
so
better.
you guys want to come at me because you don't like a
just
guy?
laughed.
No,
I just
everything's
laughed. I
funny.
agree.
Everything's funny because everything's
you-
funny because the guy's an all pro.
When you have head case A and head case B.
Well, he was a head case this year
take the
because they
better
weren't
of the
winning.
two.
We're going to win.
I'm not saying he's not. I just laughed at, like, that was your, like.
Fournette had tantrums on sidelines. Like grow up. You know what I mean? Fournette's never healthy.
So everyone does that. Everyone has
I
tantrums on the
understand.
sidelines.
I understand, but Ramsey's better and doesn't
I
and is
don't
always playing.
disagree with you.
I just
laughed at the comment.
I'm letting the comment know that I hear you,
Yeah.
and I'm telling you that Ramsey's the reason I'm all in on Ramsey is he plays 16 games and he's top 3 to 5 corner in football.
All right. So you don't want any parts of AB, though?
AB's a crumb.
But Jalen's not.
Did Jalen make comments and quit on his football team?
He
Sit out.
He made comments.
So he sat out.
He didn't sit out.
Okay. What did AB?
No, he didn't sit in a game.
Did he miss practices?
We're talking practice.
Okay. Did he just not show up?
We're talking to the GOAT.
But
We're talking practice.
we're just not show up?
I'll take a diva corner over a diva wide receiver.
Yeah, like the guy just doesn't show up to shit.
Let me ask you guys something real quick. You have 2 deals on the table. And this is where things are going to get interesting for you, big boy, because I'm going to another one of your former kids. Jacksonville offers you.
We getting Markel?
Jacksonville offers you Fournette and Ramsey for Foles in your first rounder. Miami offers you Tunsil and Drake for Foles in your first rounder. Where are you going?
Miami offers Tunsil
And Kenyon
Kenyon
Drake.
Okay, and then
For Foles in your first rounder.
okay, and then the other side,
It's Ramsey and
Fournette and Ramsey.
I go Miami.
I go Miami.
Just because I get my left tackle.
Yeah,
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And I get my left tackle, and I get an impact player at the running back position.
Well, we start talking about Jalen Ramsey, and I immediately start thinking about Tunsil and the gas mask.
Yeah, I think gas mask automatically.
Yeah.
But my left tackle for my future. Yeah, I would go Miami deal.
Yeah.
So see,
Well, that was like.
kids.
But again, that's the that was the Wentz, obviously draft.
Right.
And it was one of those things where if you didn't trade up, which obviously everyone's happy we did, except for the Folesian group.
We probably end up with him.
But you might end up with him at 7.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's still interesting. You still have to weigh everything because I think at the running back position they're pretty much a wash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, one plays more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
You get your-
do you
you
value the left tackle versus
Yes.
the shutdown corner? And
Yes.
the answer is yes. And every day on Sunday.
Yes, absolutely. Because you got to protect the guy
gotta-
coming back,
you gotta
who's your
protect the left.
franchise guy, who's going to get the most money. I mean, it's common. It's football 101.
Right.
But now the interesting thing is Tunsil and Wentz will come up the same time on free
Right.
agency. So
Right.
now you're talking about spending a lot of money for your bookend left tackle and your quarterback, which is fine. I'm just saying that's the direction you're going to go.
2 most important positions in offense.
You're going to solidify that side of your offense, and again, you got to draft well. But no, I would definitely go with Miami. And to me, honestly, it's not close.
No.
It's not close because the running back's not even a wash. The running back's a huge win, not in terms of talent, because we know what Fournette is.
Durability.
But he's never on the field. So I'll take Drake. He's a big time. He makes guys miss.
Mm-hmm.
He can break off big runs. We see it all the time. And I'll take my bookend left tackle.
I have no
even
idea.
though I fucking love, even though I love. But I was the guy who said, remember this on the shows?
Yeah.
I said when we trade up to 2, what do we trade up for, Tunsil or Ramsey? I said it. I said we might not even go after a quarterback.
Yeah.
Because Tunsil, to me, was the best player in that draft. And I said it. Him and Ramsey were 1 and 2, and then I at Carson, and the list went on.
I have no idea why Miami is sour on Kenyon Drake because that guy's a flat-out stud.
Because they got the 90-year-old Frank
They
Gore.
were sour on Ajayi, too. They gave us that, so why don't give him give us both, too.
Let's be real, though. I mean, they were sour because it was Gase. You know what I mean? Who
Right.
knows what that new
regime,
have they hired somebody yet?
What was Gase looking at? Get it?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
With his crazy eyes.
Did they hire somebody yet, or are they waiting for New England's guy?
I think they're waiting for New England's
Okay.
guy.
Yeah, that's pretty
The
much.
defensive coordinator,
That's what the
right?
AFC
Yeah,
East
it's pretty
does.
much done,
Yeah.
The AFC East does just trades coaches around.
Yeah, just trades.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah.
Cute what they do over there. It's like almost, it's corrupt.
It's,
like,
th-
we're
it's
just gonna
3
keep-
against 1, and they still can't take
Yeah,
it.
nobody can take him out. Nobody can take him out. No matter what kind of year you have.
Because he's the
No
goat.
matter
Eight
that,
straight
that
AFC
Brady,
championship
Yeah, Brady
games?
can't
Oh.
play in Miami.
God.
I mean, the list goes on, but they still win. Sleeps. I'll say your name, Sleepsy. I'm not running from it. You're not. I know you're not a Ramsey guy, and that's fine. But I just said to clarify that people think I'm biased to my kids. I just proved I'm not. It's about what makes my football team better. And as much as I love Jalen, he's to me 1 or 2 best corners in football. To me,
Protect 11.
yeah, Tunsil.
You realize that this is 2 weeks in a row. I've thought I've I've been real close to talking you into giving up on your kids.
Yeah, and both times.
Last week you were ready to give up Odubel for the right guy, and now.
Oh, I absolutely.
Oh, who are you giving up Odubel for?
I don't know, but he's the first guy in camp, I love that.
I said that if they sign Harper and Machado, segue, I want Franco and Odubel sent to San Diego for Travis Jankowski. Left-handed hitting center fielder that can flat out go get it.
He's got great flow.
And a high on-base percentage.
And great flow.
Bring that guy in. You put him in the 8-hole. You let him go play the hell out of center field and call it a day. Boom. Done.
I have no problem with it.
Oh, that's 2 kids. God.
Yeah,
Well, that's because the big kid's coming off the DL. So.
Well, I think in this lineup, he could, talking about Dubel, if you add a Harper, Machado, or both, I think that makes him very dangerous in this lineup. To me, it makes your lineup like now you're dangerous as shit because this guy
makes the bottom of your lineup that much better.
This guy can get hot because when he's hot, he's hot.
Odubel's going to bat 6th or 7th, maybe in that lineup, and that's okay.
Yeah, because there's no pressure there. You
he's
just
still
go
a wackadoodle.
He is a wackadoodle, maybe.
Which is what you want with a wackadoodle.
Guy. Found that out the other day.
Yeah.
ADHD guy, which makes total sense if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean that upped your child support then, right?
Oh yeah. Got to pay for medicine. Pay for the script.
All that medicine and stuff.
Pay for the script. Yeah, absolutely. Top sliding. Uphill. Doesn't work.
So it looks like we're sliding into the Phillies talk right now.
I guess so. I mean,
Winter Storm Harper is on his way.
Talk about it. So hey.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, you went from having to spend $1 billion on 2 to maybe be able to get out with $500, $600 million for 2.
Half a bill is cheap. It's cheap these days.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer that you just sign both. You just go out spamming people.
Yeah,
and sign both.
I was shocked that was now. Of course, it's being refuted
now.
It's been refuted. I was shocked that was the initial offer.
That's the cat and mouse
for
game.
a guy like Machado. I would have thought at minimum the offer's $200.
I think the refuting is shady.
Well, sure it is.
I
mean that's agent talk. Yeah. Absolutely.
I think if that wasn't the offer, they wouldn't have said a word.
Right.
So to me, they're refuting it.
They're caught with their pants down. They're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that wasn't us.
What they're obviously trying to do, and it's what the Red Sox did last year with J.D. Martinez.
Right.
Is be the first one in there. And then see if anybody matches, which nobody will.
Right.
And then you're still the first and the last. Mm-hmm. And then, you got yourself a bargain at $25 a year.
Just go give one $300 and the other $4 and call it a goddamn day.
I don't even think you need to go that high.
You don't. But what does it matter? Or go $250 and $350.
Well, my theory on this is that they actually do have a budget that they're looking at, and for me, they're just trying to figure out how much they're going to have to pay Harper. And if it's, I think what they're looking at is they have a ceiling, $30 million. They're willing to go, 10 for $300 or 12 for $360. Because I did hear that was actually floated out there, which 12 years is a long deal.
Aggressive.
It's a long deal in the National League.
I'll take it, but whatever.
It's a long deal in the National League unless you have opt-outs.
I'll dislike them in 8.
Yeah. But if you go 10 for 30 or
but
10
if he gets you 2.
Yeah. But if you go 10 for $300 on Harper and you then come back and you go, 10 for $280 on Machado, or 8 for what was the number I gave you earlier? $212. $26.5 million a year. I mean, because right now, Machado's highest bid, reportedly, is $25 million a year.
Bargain.
And here's the thing, though.
Give him 30 and call it a night.
30
a year and call it a day.
If we're being honest about this, who's the better player? To me,
Machado.
It's Machado.
It is
not close.
But who's going to be worth more to this organization? Harper.
It's a good question, but Machado's the better player.
Let me ask you, as fans, yes. The answer to this question is yes. But if we miss on both, right? Do you at least give them
Shut
credit
your mouth
for being in the conversation?
Credit?
No, what?
Now participation trophy awards?
No, I'm saying as fans, it's going to suck.
Absolutely not. No credit. No credit. Because what does it say? You as a businessman.
What
does it say about this organization?
But what? No, you're absolutely
it says
right.
We're all talk.
I get it. But
you said stupid money, not me.
But say your budget, right? And you hit 30, and someone comes in at 35. Are you still
Yep.
Then you go 37 and a half.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Everything needs to be top for both.
Yeah.
Everything needs to be top for both. They're tired of playing around. Signing fucking, hiding behind things like we're scared of the big dogs. Go fucking be a big boy.
You have to.
You print money.
Yeah.
Go be a big boy. Go say to the Red Sox, hey, we're going to out-hit you, and we got the pitching to beat you too.
You have to get at least one. You have to make sure that you are absolutely not outbid for at least one of them. Now, if you think you're getting Harper for 30 and you wind up then having to pay 40 and somebody's going to outbid you on Machado, that's fine because you got Harper, or vice versa. But you have to come out with at least one of them, or else you look like a complete schmuck.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
It is. It's
Because
embarrassing.
the one you've been tied to since you were part of him with Baltimore.
Yeah. Right.
So you've been tied to one guy forever. So you don't get him, you're an issue.
Yeah.
Okay. I just think it's set up to get both.
You're right.
Like, it really is. It couldn't be like when you see 175 offered to Machado, you see 220 or whatever. You don't know exactly what the exact number was, but you know it's cheaper than what you thought.
The only way that I don't get pissed if they don't pull both of them is if they get one and then they take the money that they would have used on the other and they go get Keuchel and Kimbrel. Then I'm okay with a starter, a closer, and a stud.
Yeah, I'm good there too. I'll be happy there. But you really puts me over the top and really says to the rest of baseball that hey, Yankees want to spend, Red Sox want to spend, well, so do the Phillies.
And if we don't do that, now we're not taking serious.
And we're not spending this on guys that are 30 years old, 31 at the end of the deal.
Exactly.
We're putting this investment in 26-year-old guys coming into the prime of their careers. It's a no-brainer that I have no issue with 10 for both, okay? Zero issue, because at 36 you can still swing it, okay? So I have no issue because that's the end of it. So I have no issue for 10 for both. I have no issue of giving Machado $300 for 10 and Bryce $350 for 10. I have no issue. I have no issue with that. That's cheap if you thought about where it was when this started.
I agree.
And I'm telling you, it makes this roster be able to beat the Red Sox. It makes it clear-cut, dominant NL team. There will be no NL team better than this team on paper. None. Because I love Harper, but Machado rakes nonstop. Harper's a hot, cold guy. Right?
And you saw that this past year. He was batting like 190 and finishes 250, for the bulk of the year.
He's had one big season when Machado's been consistently damn good for years. And you would expect Harper to get better. I think Harper is a guy you want in this clubhouse. And I think setting up a McCutchen with the Machado kind of guy he is, and you set up this veteran core in your locker room, it's built to bring in a Manny Machado. You bring in his infield coach. You know what I mean? You're setting up to bring him in. So to your point, if you miss, it's a complete failure because you, one, stupid money, two, you bring in a guy's buddy to try to lure him to come here, and you still miss.
But here's the thing.
But what
if they miss on Machado, you have to get Harper.
Absolutely.
Because to me, here's the thing.
My thing to him is
that's when it goes $400 million.
Right, but if I have a choice,
I got to go 5. I go 5.
if I have a choice gun to my head, I'm taking Harper.
Really?
And I say this admitting to you that Machado's the better ball player.
Yeah.
But there's
I was just thinking that.
A few things here. One,
image. Are you going image?
No, well, it's not necessarily image, but Harper puts asses in the seats. Harper is also a gamer, whereas Machado's kind of like, Spanish Mafia, too cool for the room. He may run it out, he may not.
I don't give a fuck about guys running balls out.
And here's the thing. If you look
You're going to be out.
Right, but if you look at Harper's numbers in Washington, which is really not a hitter-friendly ballpark, and you take those numbers and you translate them to Citizens Bank Park, he could blow that shit out of the water. Whereas if you look at Machado from Camden Yards to Citizens Bank Park, it's essentially the same numbers.
Harper's
and now his numbers are phenomenal. I'm not taking anything away from Machado.
No, I know what you're saying.
I just think long term, Harper is the draw, and I think you can continue to get guys to
come here. Yeah.
With Harper on the team, maybe not so much with Machado.
Oh, I think the Spanish Mafia would run for Machado, and let's be real, who's better in baseball? But, I mean, that's semantics for another day. But I completely understand what you're saying. Harper brings guys that we're going to want to come play here. Anytime
his milkshake brings all the boys
together. Harper makes it a destination.
Well, it makes sense. That if you're only going to get one guy, it's going to be Harper.
Yeah, you have to.
Tristan, I don't know.
And Harper's 35 home runs and 100 RBIs in Washington.
Are probably 45 home runs here.
It's 30 home runs and 100 RBIs by August 1st.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he could go 50 and 130 and make it look easy.
It's Ryan Howard again.
Yeah.
Go with that.
It's okay.
Tristan says opening day, what's your lineup? It's tough to say now. You know, you got to give me a little bit on that.
There's too many ifs right now. But I'm saying
if I get my 2 guys, I already have my lineup.
Yeah, but we'll cross it because we'll get there. We don't even know when these assholes are going to sign.
That's the frustrating thing about what happened to the days when we were signing guys, on Christmas Eve, like Roy Halladay on the 23rd. The baseball offseason is so tough. Imagine if you had like a shitty football team, and you're going through October, November, and December waiting on baseball free agents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's awful. The good thing is we have the Eagles to take us into late January.
We
still have to wait.
Yeah. Was that Tristan who made that comment, by the way, about who's your starting lineup?
Yeah.
Well, Tristan. You probably weren't with us like last February and March. We do different starting lineups like every freaking week.
That's baseball.
Every week during spring training. Who's your starting 9 this week? You changing the batting order? You changing positions for anybody?
What's the point about picking a starting lineup for the Phillies? They're going to have like 106 different lineups this year anyway.
That's what we figured out anyway.
Can't even figure that one out a little
But we legitimately do a different lineup every week.
Yeah, let's just put it out there, the starting lineup, and hope it's that way for 5 times this year. Then that's a success.
Yeah, big if. Right. We didn't know we were coming into that. All right, fam. We talked that. Sixers, big trip coming up.
Huge.
12 games. We're going to find out a lot about them.
Got to get the first one tomorrow.
No, Tommy, what do we always say? January.
This is when you got to win baseball games. 8-4 would be great over that stretch.
Oof.
We'll see what that means.
I'm hoping for 500 ball.
But if this if this bench can be any bit productive, if you can get signs of life like from Wilson Chandler last night.
Playing better.
Joe called him trash in their post-game interview, which was classic.
Twice.
Yeah, twice. And
somebody had to say chill.
And it's fucking great. And I think the season goes on, maybe you can get some more contribution out of a guy like that.
Yeah.
Hopefully Corey Brewer can give you something. As just a vet, better than what you have on your bench. Obviously, a wing defender help you out a little bit.
Better than Furcon.
But we'll see. We'll see what Foles' situation is. But this is a big stretch.
Well,
he might be better defensively than Furcon, but
the
he's not shooting well.
Piece of news that I saw that was really interesting today was it looks like Marc Gasol may be getting the buyout.
Interesting.
It's a name I'd give a serious look at.
We need somebody to stand there while Joe's on the bench.
Absolutely, I'll give that a stare down.
Huh?
I would love that.
I mean,
we need something because right now I have zero confidence in the postseason with this team.
But I mean, that would be better. It would be far better than the Ilyasova signing last year.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
This team just needs to get deeper.
Yeah,
and any way they can get a little bit deeper.
Any way they can, because right now this team,
they're not built to win.
If we're stuck in the 4 spot and Boston stays at the 5 spot, I'm nervous that we can't get out of the first round.
It's a possibility.
I mean, let alone our early season
production.
Exactly. I mean, beginning of the season, we're the best team in the East, maybe Toronto. We're not beating. We're not beating Toronto. We're not beating.
I still
we're
think
not beating them in a 7-game series without home court.
I still think Toronto folds in the playoffs.
They probably do. Milwaukee, damn good.
And Toronto's a great team. Indeed. They just don't play in the postseason.
We're gonna find out.
Well, we're gonna find out because now they have Kawhi. I mean, they don't play in the postseason with DeRozan and Old Man Lowry. Before I came here, Lowry got a steal, and he was about 6 feet in front of everybody and couldn't even make it to the hoop without 3 guys catching him. Remember we were talking about signing this guy in the offseason for 5 years?
Oh, yeah, I was against that.
He's not the fastest guy.
I know, but it was funny, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, they obviously need a deeper bench, but we're going to find out how much this big 3 can get it done over this stretch. Yeah. And maybe a little bit of big 4-ish when you include JJ. But you need bench production. You need some guys in double digits. You need Landry to be more consistent off the bench, and that's huge. And I don't even want to bring up Foles, but we'll find out if that dude ever plays again this year. So we're going to wrap it up on that. Let these boys get out of here. Tom,
Mike,
AM,
in the PA.
I'd like to thank Gibson Mayer LLC, our certified public accountant. Make him yours. Find him on the web, gibsonmayer.com. Tom Arnone, Michael Mataraki, Greg Mwagvik, Josh Simonetti. Thanks for jumping on with us, my brother. Robbie Pove on the 1s and 2s. Thanks, Robbie. The family out there, we love you all. Josh's story. You know what I'll do? I'll drop the video in the Real Talk group tomorrow. You still got it on your phone?
I have it on my laptop.
All right. We'll send it to me. Phone. We'll post it tomorrow, and everybody can sort of see your travels.
It's a 1-year anniversary coming up, man.
It's coming up. So we want to show people your travels again.
Yeah,
we'll post it on the big page, a little flashback. We'll do a little flashback Friday on Friday.
Oh, nice.
How about that?
I love it.
Let's go.
I love it. Let's go.
A bunch of thinkers in here. We love you all. Can't say go Birds right now, but we can say 10-9-8. Fly Guys lose out. Phillies, Machado, and Harper.
Winter Storm Harper.
And we'll become the city of winners.
Let's go.
Let's go. We out. Thanks, Pat. Yeah, I got nothing.